Hi everyone, Sara here from Sweden, and this will be a contest as a response to Robert, who asked us around Christmas there what three artists that are deceased from any periods of time we would invite to a party. If we could have a party and they could kind of come like ghosts and you could hang out with them and you could maybe see them do a little bit of a show and they would sign one item. And it's a really cool contest idea. He announced this around Christmas, and he was thinking about Scrooge and the three ghosts of Christmas there. So very nice contest idea. And I've been thinking about this a lot. First of all, I must say, Robert, you are a very kind man. You mailed me that and asked me, or you hoped that I would have a great new year, and I wish you the same. Robert is a bit older than me, lives in the US, and he likes prog, and I enjoy that section of his collection very much so. Also likes Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, so kick ass. So I've been thinking about this contest, as I said, very much, and I just had to, you know, kind of relax myself at last and just say, okay, these are the three I must choose, because I have been thinking about Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Bob Marley. I talked to my partner, she said straight away Ian Curtis, and that's a very interesting character as well, personality. And I played with the thought of inviting Sid Vicious a bit, but maybe that would be a bit too crazy. Maybe you couldn't talk to him so much. So I believe Brandon, Mr. Hall of Fame, also shows the one that I absolutely would love to invite most of all. He would be the honor. Really, it would be so damn great to meet that man. And yeah, if I was alive and close by, hear him at the time when he was this kind soul, I would absolutely fall in love with him. And I'm talking about someone who was very much down to earth, even though he achieved some kind of fame in his lifetime. He had a troubled childhood, was quite emotional, a huge aura around him, you know, lots of energies and such a creative mind. And I'm of course talking about Jimi Hendrix. Yes, of course. And this would be the thing I would like to be signed. This is not the original track, but a repress on the Music on Vinyl, 180 grams. Sounds good. I would like an original sometime, but this one would look very nice with the signature. Otherwise, I'd want him to sign a huge, really cool poster I have. If he didn't want to sign that one for some reason, but I would love to sit down with him and just listen to him talk about whatever he would like, because I think I would be pretty interested in whatever he would like to talk about. Actually, he had such a huge interest in music as well, and was somewhat of a record collector. He loved to find new records to buy and listen to, and it would be absolutely amazing to talk to him and see him play. Man, that would be magical. So the other person, and I don't mean to show less enthusiasm about Jimi Hendrix here. I am a bit tired because I've tried to shoot this video like 4 times now. So, but the second person would be someone who adored Hendrix, also a left-handed guitarist and a very interesting personality as well. Had a sleeping disorder which made him fall asleep every now and then. Painted a bit, wrote interesting lyrics. Was also maybe too emotional for his own good, and that was Kurt Cobain. And this is of course Nirvana, their second album, the most well-known album by them. I'd like this signed somewhere in the water here, but I know he didn't like this as much, the fame, you know, and I agree with him there. So if I had this one on vinyl, because this is absolutely my favorite, something I played to death when I was younger, and I love these versions. I like them more than the album ones actually. If I had this on vinyl, I would love that signed. I must get this on vinyl sometime. But I would like this sign and frame it up on the wall, because yeah, it's classic album cover. But most of all, I would like to see him interact with Jimi Hendrix, because that was his idol also, or someone he looked up to very much. And I would like to sit down and talk to Kurt about yeah, music also. He had a bunch of different influences, from Hendrix to punk ones and everything. So I'd really like to sit down and talk and just see how he was like. I think he also had some kind of aura around him, but was sometimes very funny, but sometimes very troubled as well. But I think I'd love him as well. The last one, I don't think many will pick this one. It's kind of a surprise, I guess, and it's the last one I really came to think of, but I thought, yes, I am choosing this one. It's male, because he had an impact on my life. I liked the way he did write music, and let's see if anyone else picks him. I don't think so. I haven't seen all the responses yet, but yeah, I'm gonna turn on a song or a musical piece, and you guys can guess, right? This song is called Morning. It's a beautiful piece, one of his most known pieces. And it's for Per Gynt. Music he created for that Ibsen story there. I'm thinking about the Swedish artist John Bauer, who painted to this story big trolls and a story about a princess and a little boy who wanted to find her. This is, of course, let me see where I put that record. This is, of course, Edvard Grieg. That man there who looks a bit grumpy, but very interesting. Of course. And I'm playing this because I am very interested in his life. He had a very eventful life, and somewhat troublesome, because as you may know, he grew up in Bergen, Norway, and that's also kind of the birthplace for me of black metal, the black metal scene there with the Burzum and Immortal and those bands coming from Bergen. But long before them, he was born in Bergen in 1843 and lived there for 15 years before he moved to Leipzig and studied more music. He liked Chopin and Richard Wagner and that sort of stuff, but he did something special. He incorporated Norwegian folk music and kind of took back the Norwegian soul, the culture, put that into the music. And yes, but he had some problems as well. He had lung disorder, which made his one of his lungs collapse, so he had very trouble after that, and it made his back ache. And also he married his cousin, just like Poe, and they had a child that died just some year after that. So he was that kind of stuff also influenced his composing of these works. And he was a very creative man who loved to play the piano. The last years he moved back, he moved around a bit, he lived in Copenhagen as well for a while, and so, but he moved back to cabin, a house quite near his hometown there. And I saw a program about him a couple of years ago. It was about a piano player now who wanted to play a really, am I saying really? Yes, I'm saying really. A really long a piece of music that hasn't been played live almost at all, and it was a very sad, it's so sad, this piece of music, and so long, and he created that when he was in deep mourning, and he didn't ever want to play it. It was too hard. It's too hard for the fingers to play and to him to cope the whole time, to not, you know, make any mistakes and stuff. So but this modern concert piano player played this in front of an audience, and he was very so nervous about it. But it also showed the house where Grieg had lived, and kind of a little house just by the side where he went and kind of isolated himself from his wife and composed so much good music. And it was a great program. I can't remember the name of the program here that was broadcast in Sweden, but I was even more moved by his music after this. But I'm gonna play a song which was one of the first really serious songs I've ever listened to. I had listened to child music before that, which I love as well, of course, but when I was 6 years old, and I was about soon to start first class, we met these different teachers, and one of them was a painter, and we were in a classroom, and she put on some classical music, and she said, I want you to paint whatever you feel when you listen to this music. And I was so overwhelmed, you know, so young, so blown away by this music, and I was scared to death, and that is what I'm going to play right now. This is of course Hall of the Mountain King, also from the Per Gynt suite. And the music is very dramatic from the start, you know, you can hear that it will escalate into something both ugly and beautiful. And it's that escalation that erupts in some sort of orchestral volcano of some sort that just scared the crap out of me and still has huge impact on me. Here it comes. Can almost headbang to this, you know. Yeah, that's creepy, right? And it's so damn powerful. It's a masterpiece. I can't even express how I feel about this. And that's his music. He creates dramatic, but also some of these are really so damn beautiful, like Morning there and stuff. And yeah, long before I bought metal, I had bought these CDs. This was what I played here. It's the BBC Scottish Symphony Orchestra, that one, and these ones, different collections here. And yeah, I absolutely adored it. I got a bit obsessed there. I came home, I had painted really a quite scary painting because I had done exactly that. I had painted what I felt and the music brought out in me. So I came home with that experience, and yeah, that's kind of, I think, what also drew me into metal, you know. It's really true what people say. If you like some extreme metal, you can love classical music as well. Well, mine started with Grieg there and ended up with not only classical but extreme metal and love for quite complex music. That's also the prog side of me, I suppose. So that's my response. Sorry about being a bit long, but yeah, I would love to see Jimi Hendrix, Kurt Cobain and Edvard Grieg at my party, and I'd love for Edvard to play a little bit of piano. I think I would buy a piano just to hear him play it and see him. So great contest, and yeah, looking forward to see more of the responses. I hope you enjoyed my answer. Bye!